Hello, I wanted to do or try to do a video today about another video that's going around the web in which Seth Rogen testified in front of our senators, a Senate congressional hearing, I believe is what they called. Last week, I believe he did, and about his mother-in-law having dementia. Here's a little history lesson. There's 2 senators for every state. 50 states, that's 100 senators. 2 were present. Senator Tom Harkin and somebody else. I don't even know who the other senator was. Now, I'm going to be frank. I've met Senator Tom Harkin. I sat across his desk one time about 3 years ago, and he's not a bit smarter today than he was then. He didn't get it then. He don't get it now. I wonder if Mr. Rogen used a little bit too much humor in his speech that he did. There's a time and a place for humor, and I really don't think that was it. I want to tell you, this video is what I call a flash in the pan, and that's exactly what it is and what it's going to be. A lot of people are looking at it and saying it's going to bring awareness. Well, it's not. You know, a week from now, nobody will be talking about it, and life will go on. I've seen this happen time and time again. What irritates me the most is about this, and don't get me wrong, because I want to say up front, the Alzheimer's Association has helped me in Falls June immensely. I couldn't ask for to be better treated the way we were when I was first diagnosed with this disease, but here are just some things that some organizations do, and I'll say it like that, some organizations. I've had the opportunity to speak at dozens of symposiums over the last 3 years, from Washington, D.C. to Florida to New York City, Washington State, many here in Ohio, and I've talked to a lot of important people and some who are caregivers and patients and things like that. But what always got me was at these symposiums that I have attended, I was the only patient there. Now, I don't mean in the whole group of people that attended the symposium. I mean, as far as speakers go, I have always been the only patient at these symposiums. Now, think about that. One in particular that I remember was in Washington, D.C. The Alzheimer's Association put it on, and they had 2 keynote speakers. One of them was Newt Gingrich, he used to be Speaker of the House, and the other one was Kathleen Sebelius, who we all know and love now because of our health care. But anyway, putting politics aside, Mr. Gingrich spoke of his sister-in-law having dementia. I believe it was his sister-in-law, and he spoke of that. And Kathleen Sebelius, I couldn't tell you what her ties to dementia is. I don't remember. It was nothing earth-shattering, or maybe it was. I just don't remember. So, but the point I'm trying to make is the day that we was at this symposium in Washington, D.C., and Newt Gingrich spoke, the next day he was going to announce his candidacy for President of the United States. Now, he's a busy man. My question is, how often do you suppose he sees his sister-in-law? And how often do you know what she deals with? And how often do you think he is around her to know how dementia is daily? And that's the problem, see. These people are not stupid. Newt Gingrich, Kathleen Sebelius, Seth Rogen, you know, they just come on and on and on. They're all somewhat celebrities, if you will. But the problem with that is, here's what Seth Rogen said that stuck out to me. I got it wrote down here. He said that the problem with dementia is he can't understand how the common person can afford to deal with this disease. He can't understand how the common person can afford to deal with this disease. And that's the smartest thing he said in 6 minutes. And it's absolutely true, because we can't. But see, what you got to realize is Mr. Rogen and his family don't have to worry about that. Glenn Campbell and his wife, Kim, they don't have to worry about that. Lisa Gibbons. I mean, the list goes on. And all of these people are celebrities that the Alzheimer's Association and other organizations pick to be poster people for dementia. And it's absurd. I've been very outspoken about this and how much it upsets me as a patient, because nothing irritates me more to be watching a video or sitting at a symposium with thousands of people and somebody standing up there telling me about dementia, and they don't have it, they don't know anything about it. They know what they've read or heard or whatever. And it's very, very demeaning. I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I'm by far no expert, but I am a patient. And when I see people, speaking out about this disease, I just can't wrap my head around why these organizations don't have patients speak at these symposiums. I mean, there's millions of people, patients that are in early stage that could do this, and my guess is probably willing to do this. I don't know that many, but I'm sure there are. And that's what we need to do, is break the mold. If you want to show dementia, if you want to learn about dementia, ask the people that have it. Don't ask Seth Rogen. Are you kidding me? Or Newt Gingrich. I laugh, but it goes on all the time. I see this all the time. The basketball lady coach, shoot, I can't think of her name, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. Pat Pat something. Anyway, she announced, this was another one, she announced a couple years ago now that she indeed was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease. Now, she did a big press conference, on Pat's Summerall or summer something, and I have been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. And one of the questions obviously was, well, what's going to change? And she said, nothing will change in my life. Really? Well, everything's going to change. She didn't realize that. I don't know. She was in denial. I don't know. Something. But here you go. You got this lady who millions of people look up to, and she's the best female basketball coach of all time, and I give her kudos. But when she stands in front of the cameras and tells the nation that there's nothing going to change in her life because she's been diagnosed, well, it's absurd. It's absurd. Now, a year later, she stepped down as head basketball coach. Well, no kidding. Gee whiz. Of course she can't be a head basketball coach, but see, they never made a big news conference out of that, because that doesn't make news. It makes news when she stands up in front of the cameras and says, well, I've got dementia, everything's going to be fine. Nothing's going to change. Well, it's things like that just drive me insane. Like I said, if I am glad for the Campbells, Glenn Campbell, and this Pat lady, and Seth Rogen, and anybody that has made it in life, be it a celebrity or just somebody that's well off, money-wise. That's fine. You don't have to worry about medications. You don't have to worry about placing your loved one. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff, because you got money. You can do this. But like Seth Rogen said himself, the common person, you can't do that. I watched an interview the other day on the Ellen DeGeneres show, I think it was. I seen it on the net, and forgive me because I can't remember who they was interviewing. But once again, they said that, this disease wasn't going to change. It wasn't going to change then. They're speaking out against it. Oh, it was Brad Paisley's wife. Yeah, Brad Paisley's wife. Her mom has dementia, and she did a wonderful, I think it was for ABC News. Yeah, it wasn't Ellen DeGeneres, it was ABC News. And she did a wonderful interview. It was about 5 or 6 minutes long. But at the end, they asked her, they said, well, how's your mother getting along now? Well, we've had to place her, and she is in a nursing facility, which is fine. But here you go. Think about this now. I Googled Kathleen Paisley. Her net worth, not Brad, her net worth is $10 million. Now you take $10 million and you put your mother in a nursing facility. Am I missing something here? I mean, they live in a house that's got 10 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a guest house, and her mother's in a nursing facility. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, just because you got money doesn't make you a caregiver. We all know that. But I just think it's kind of crazy to interview somebody like this of fame and fortune, worth millions of dollars, and they don't take care of their parents at home. They put them in a nursing facility, which was, like I said, I'm not knocking her at all. It just struck me as odd. There are tens of millions of people that would love to keep their loved one at home and care for them, but simply can't. They can't do it. They can't afford home health. They can't afford to quit their job. They can't afford the medications. Hell, they don't even know how they're going to make the next house payment. This is how it goes in the trenches with this disease. If you've got money and dementia comes into your life, I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't have enough. I don't care who you are. You don't have enough, because this disease will take it. Unless you're a multi-millionaire, you ain't got enough money. I've seen it. And that's the God's truth. That's what people need to talk about. And they need to have patients discuss this disease. Patients that can put two sentences together. And there's many of us out there, Just because a lot of people think I was diagnosed with dementia, I shouldn't be able to string a couple thoughts together. That in itself is absurd. So anyways, I want to do this video. Like I said, I'm not knocking any of these people that has money and is able to deal with this disease because of the finances they have. That's fine, and I say hats off to you. But don't make them poster boys, the Alzheimer's. That's just crazy. They don't know this disease like we know it, I mean, our lifestyle has changed dramatically. Before I was diagnosed, Phyllis, you and I worked 2 jobs. That's 4 incomes coming into this house. So you can say we had toys. Yeah, I had a lot of toys. She had a lot of toys. That all changed. Now she still works full time. She's a secretary. She runs the office down there where she works at. She's been there 34 years. She makes excellent money, and she runs squad 24 hours on the weekend. So we still got 2 incomes plus my disability, but it's a big change. It's a big change in our lifestyle, and that's okay. You got to do what you got to do. And we're looking ahead at placing me because we know that's coming. I'm getting off track here, but she weighs 110 pounds, 115 pounds soaking wet, and I'm pushing 170. So, you see her wrestle me around at 2 o'clock in the morning 4 or 5 years from now, or whatever, So I just wish people would open up their eyes when they see a video like Mr. Rogan just did. Like I said, hats off to him for doing it, but let's think about it. Let's think about it, okay? All right. I had this all wrote down and I posted it, but then I hit delete, so that's why I ended up having to do a video on it instead of a post, a thread. So apologize for that. So I hope the video turns out all right. I hope I can get it posted. And it's Friday. Have a good weekend. And I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but stuff like this just drives me crazy. So, all right. See you.